Hello, today you're here with Edem Messanh, student athlete at Urban Renaissance Basketball School, and today I'm here with Noah Khalid. Noah Khalid, what is it like being a student athlete at Dalton?
It's been great. It's like a bunch of students at Dalton are athletes, so you really fit right into the community, and it's really easy to balance athletics and academics. A bunch of my classmates also play different sports, and it's kind of easy for us to get our work done throughout the day. So after school, we'll have more time to do athletics and other interests that we have outside of school.
What are some of your other interests?
Some of my other interests, I take a few architecture classes at school, a few design classes. I've taken a few computer science classes. So outside of just like the STEM classes and like math and science, all those are some of the classes I've taken. Yeah.
Going back to more of the basketball side, how would you describe your basketball career from when you first picked up a basketball till now?
It's been a long journey. I mean, I feel like since I had two older brothers who both played basketball, that helped me choose basketball as a sport. And when I was younger, I wasn't really as skilled as the people I was playing with, but I always got to play against older kids because I had two brothers. But I think it's improved a lot, not just my game, but like where I'm able to play and who I'm able to play with. So I feel like 9 or 10 years now I've been playing competitively, and I've definitely improved and gotten better a lot.
While growing up, like around the basketball programs, who would you say was the biggest mentor or like the main person that was always there for you?
Well, obviously I've had like a few coaches and a few trainers, but probably both my older brothers and my dad. They both, all three of them, have like pushed me and obviously always believed in me and always told me to keep going even when you have down moments and you don't really like believe in yourself to keep going. Those are the three people who, all of them equally, who have pushed me and been there for every workout.
You talk a lot about your brothers. Can you give me like a quick rundown on who they are and where they are today?
Yeah, so my oldest brother Issa, he's a junior in college. He's at Indiana University. He's a manager of the basketball team there, and he basically got us all into basketball. He played 4 years at Riverdale Country School, a school in the Bronx, on varsity basketball, and we're all, I would say, scorers as our games. My middle brother, he's now a freshman in college. He's at Babson College, and he went to Dalton, so I played with him for 2 years. And we all have similar games and all kind of take different parts of each other and kind of build off of that.
So you said that you played with your brother for 2 years. Have you been on the varsity team where are you?
Yeah, so I'm a junior now. So I've been on the team since I was a freshman. I played with him freshman year, sophomore year, and then he graduated last year. So this is my first year without him on the team. But yeah, those 2 years were great. The team chemistry both those years was phenomenal. So I definitely enjoyed both of those years too.
Well, talking about your brothers and seeing how far they're getting in life right now, what do your career paths look like?
Well, they both kind of took like an interesting path where they were so focused on basketball, and then going to college, they more focused on like their future lives. So like they're both kind of studying business at their respective schools. So I think that they've kind of given me the option on what I want to do post basketball and post high school. So I think that depending on if I end up playing basketball in college or not, either way, I think just following their footsteps and either studying business or something around like economics is probably where my path is taking me right now. But obviously that might change and I might choose one of my own things, but I don't know, we'll see.
Considering this is your junior year and you basically have 1 more year left of high school, what colleges are you interested in right now?
That's a good question. I'm not sure on a specific one. Both my brothers, they go to kind of different variations of colleges. My oldest brother's at a Big Ten school with many students that from all around the world. My middle brother, he's at a smaller school with around like 3,000 students in Boston. So they kind of are at two very different schools, and I feel like I'm in between those. So I'm probably leaning closer to a bigger school. So meet new kids from all around the world rather than a smaller school. But again, next year we'll probably find out.
Let's jump a little bit more on the basketball side. If you were to describe any NBA player in the world as to your game, who would you describe it as?
Any NBA player, every time I get asked that question, I always have to think. I'm not sure. One of my favorite people to compare myself to that is probably not accurate at all, but I still say is LaMelo Ball, only because it's one of my favorite players. He's one of the most popular young guys in the league right now. But I don't know. I'd have to think about that more deeply to give you a better answer, but for now, that's what I'll say.
What fan are you the biggest, what NBA team are you the biggest fan of?
Chicago Bulls. That's my favorite team. I was a big Derrick Rose fan growing up. He just retired, so he had a great career. That's my favorite player of all time. So if you ask me anything about him, I'll be able to get you the right answer.
I mean, Derrick Rose just got his jersey retired in Chicago. As an outsider from New York looking in, how does that personally feel to see one of your biggest role models getting that position?
Yeah, it was really cool to see. I think just as a young age, when he was still on the Bulls, watching those games and me being a young kid and kind of growing up, and then obviously he came to New York, so I had that more of a personal connection to him and with the Knicks and all that. And I feel like he's a big community guy, so he was doing a lot of stuff in these different communities in New York City that I was able to see some of that. So I think just seeing him get recognized in Chicago was pretty cool. And obviously it felt very personal, even though I don't have any personal relations to Chicago, but that felt very full circle for me.
What are your opinion on the New York teams, such as the Knicks and the Nets?
Wait, what was the question?
What's your opinion on the Knicks and the Nets? Most importantly, the Knicks.
I think New York basketball is definitely basketball in New York is definitely a big thing for the culture. I think now the Knicks are starting to get better and better, so you can tell come playoff time, the city, you kind of feel that energy around the city. The Nets now, they're in Brooklyn, and they're still trying to do their thing. They're more in a rebuild mode right now, but a few years ago, obviously, they had all those stars. But I think right now what the Knicks are doing is interesting. Hopefully they can win a championship this year. That would be awesome for the city. But I think every year, just high school basketball and college basketball, everyone's kind of here to watch the Knicks. So going to Knicks games and seeing everyone there, I think it's just a big community.
All right, let's jump a little bit more on your school side, right? How do you feel Dalton has prepared you for your college life?
I think that they do a lot of stuff to prepare you. I think, given all the work that you are doing, which is a lot of work, but that also just helps prepare you later in life for when you're in college or if you have a job or an internship or whatever. I also think that, I mentioned this earlier, but they give you a lot of time in the day to do your work, so we don't have a class every single period, so I'll have some periods where I just have off so I can get some work done, or work on a project or go meet with the teacher. So I think all those things combined, they just kind of help me kind of grow as a student. So by the time I get to college, I'll be able to meet with my teachers without being worried or being shy of them.
Would you say that there's any outstanding teachers that were always there for you that you could always point to them to be oh, this teacher is the reason why I'm how far I am today?
Yeah, I think there are a few teachers. I think my freshman year, my computer science teacher, she was always very supportive of me, whether it was in the classroom or on the basketball court. She comes to a bunch of games too. And I think I have a few teachers, history teachers too, but around all my classes there, the majority of them are very supportive of your athletics as well as your academics. So once you're taking care of your academics and obviously you're doing well in the classes and all that, they'll actually show interest in your athletics. So I think that's something that's been able to keep me going in both.
Again, back to basketball. You said that you've been on varsity 3 years, so I would guess that your coach has stayed the same. Mm-hmm. How would you describe your coach?
He's great. He's also one of my advisors in school, so we kind of have the academic and athletic relationship. But no, he's put a lot of trust in me over the past 3 years, and he's a big reason on why I was able to accomplish what I've accomplished and do what I've been able to do. He's also the reason I've been on varsity basketball for 3 years. So definitely one of the bigger parts of my journey in high school so far, and hopefully, we can close out the year with a bunch of wins and maybe a state championship.
State championship? How bad do you want it?
That's definitely been a goal of mine since I was a freshman. Obviously as a freshman you don't really understand as much so as you do as a junior, what that means. I think every year, we've gotten close enough so you can feel what it would be like, but we fell short for the past 2 years, so definitely this year and next year, that would definitely be a big goal and a big dream.
How do you feel you are going to impact winning a state championship?
I feel just keep making sure all of our teammates keep going, and after you have a tough loss or something, it really gets in your mind and making sure that you keep focus on the actual goal, and one loss isn't gonna really hurt that so much. So you just got to keep going and not let anything set you back.
All right, thank you so much.
Thanks for having me.
How would I ask about that?
Just say no. I know that you're supporting our school. Can you tell me a little bit more about that?
No, I heard that you're going to be supporting Earl Monroe. Can you touch up a little bit about that?
Yeah, so this year I'm pledging a certain amount of money for every three-pointer I make to go to the literacy program at Earl Monroe. My brother did this the past 2 years, so just carrying that on was important to me, and also the literacy in particular was important to me because 3 out of my 4 grandparents are all teachers, so literacy's been a big thing in my family, and I think just to be able to give back to a community that I've been a part of for 10, 12 years now is just important to me, and to do it through basketball is definitely something that's pretty unique and exciting.
All right, thank you. If you could have any job around the game of basketball, what would it be and why?
Any job, I'd probably have to say like a scout. I think being a scout for a team is really interesting. Also being able to go watch, other teams, other players, and just see like how that would fit into your team. I feel like that's also that gives you the biggest insight into your team. So that would definitely be a job that I'd want to try out.
All right, thank you.
All right, that's a wrap.
Thank you.